I don't know if you can see, but that might be a woodpecker out there. I can't remember all my little lessons from school. Where I'm from, they taught us everything a lot, but I done forgot a lot of stuff. But he's out there pecking and stuff, and every now and then, usually I hear that sounds in the back. But I love wildlife, you know. I'm an old country girl at heart. I love God's animals, you know. Everything matters, you know. And this, to me, seeing things like this is intriguing and it's beautiful. I think it's a woodpecker, because he's pounding on the on the tree. I'll look it up when I get off. I was sitting in my living room and I just happened to see the bird out there chomping, pecking away. I'm like, that's not normal. I see lots of squirrels and other blackbirds. I seen an owl one time, and that tree right there, he came. It was like when it was warm though. That sucker was big. I'm like, I was like, he was trying to be slick. I was like, oh, thank you for letting me see you. He was big. He was probably about a foot and a half. And he was in that tree right there on one of them branches. He was in the leaves, but he was on one of the lower branches where I was coming in or something. It was like nighttime or something. And I happened to see him there. I was like, wow, what a treat. What a treat. You know, when I get back to my normal activities of being able to do a little bit more, I'm going to fix stuff up so it can be more compatible with the nature, you know. And I love nature, but the problem is that these two trees right here, I'm gonna have to and I really dread this because I love trees. I'm gonna have to end up taking them down because they're diseased, you know. And I don't, you know, we got a lot of windstorms and stuff like that. So, but right now I'm just hanging on because I got to work toward all of that. I got to pay for everything that I have, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. It's just that I can only do so much at a time right now. I never worked like really high paying jobs, but I've been always responsible, you know. I worked in different industries. And but mostly the majority of the time I worked in industries where it was humanitarian type stuff, you know, emergency services type stuff. But it wasn't the medical side of it. It was the social services side, you know, the making sure that things reached the people that needed it, you know, kind of logistics type things, you know, getting the supplies, making sure, helping people pay utilities, helping people with food, helping people with basic needs, referring people to the services that they needed, you know. So I never received a lot of money, but I was always responsible. So, but you know, now that I'm not doing that, now I'm going to be, when I'm doing things, it's going to be a little bit more profit driven. It's not that I'm being selfish, it's that I'm in a different situation now. And so, but I'm building for myself, but I feel I'm not so compelled. I'm not so compelled to not want to profit. But, you know, my thing is that as long as I can sustain myself and bring in enough money to take care of my bills. That's all that matters to me, and eat and stuff like that. That's the main thing. I'm not materialistic, and I want to make sure that I always do something to give back. I'm not a rich person, so I can't help everybody. But when I'm able to give back and help, I want to be able to do that when I have the resources to do certain things. There's certain things that I'm going to do, you know. But I'm going to always try to volunteer my time in certain ways, the best way I can that's convenient for me. And right now it's you know, giving back on the internet, you know, while I'm following my own pursuits, doing the other activities that I'm doing. But I have a real appreciation for life and living. And I think everybody should. We're blessed, you know. If we're breathing, we have hope. My thing is that I want people to reach a point where they don't feel like they have to dominate over other people. There's a difference between trying to dominate over somebody and working with people in a humble and honest way that benefits the majority and not a minority of just a few people. Even if it's the opposite way, I think everybody should be treated to where they can have the basics. That shouldn't be anything that we have to negotiate. Unfortunately, in the world that we live, there's a lot going on. I think negotiation skills are important, but I think, unfortunately, certain basic needs shouldn't have to be negotiated. They should be there as just because it's a humanitarian and the right thing to do, So I'm going to continue to, as long as I can, and as long as God tells me to, I'm gonna try to give back, and even if it's only like talking, and everybody I know doesn't want to hear what I have to say, and that's okay. But the few people that do, I want to encourage you to love yourself, love God, love yourself. Make sure you're stable. You don't be selfish, but make sure you're sound. Set boundaries with people. Have an outline. Have goals. Have targets. Be disciplined in everything that you do, and be fair. If you don't have a lot of money, that's okay. It's been like this forever. People been surviving with and without a lot of things. You can make it. It's all in your mindset. I watch a lot of the different survival programs because nothing is promised to us. What I have right now may not, who knows? But I want to be able to function and survive in whatever environment I'm at. So if I'm driven into the wilderness, I want to be able to know how to survive in the wilderness. And so that's why I watch those type of movies, those types of videos. But I just hope someday that God will allow me to bless a few, just even if it's just a few people, because there's a few people that I'm watching. And when I get the resources, I'm looking, and there's some projects I already know that I want to pursue, but I'm not there yet. But then I'm looking for smaller projects, and I'm just praying to God to lead me in the direction that's going to allow me to be able to do those things, to bless those people who have gone above and beyond their disappointments and the failures and the targeting and the bullying and the theft of their humanity. And I just want, just because these people say on these programs, it's gonna be like this, who said that? They're saying that. Did God say that, or are they saying that? That's spell work, people. It doesn't have to go like that. And I'm going to tell you one thing, bullies and bad guys. Keep on with your madness, okay? It ain't going to work out like you think. You better not do what you've been planning for decades. You better not. Because he going to get you before he get the poor people that don't have anything to do with anything. So you best think your plotted plans out. Just change your heart.